Okay, so hello, this is HLS16 and this is a video of Distant World Universe, as it is stated right here. And this is actually a strategy game, 4X strategy game, so it's about empire building in space. This is actually a 2D game mostly, but it's supposed to be one of the most complex or complete, I'm not sure which one that is, game of the style, and personally I'm a big fan of Master of Orion 2 back in the days. Also did play many games of that style, sort of like Star Drive more recently, or Imperium Galactica 2, and many games like that which are really enjoyable for me. And this game seemed to be really appreciated by people which are enjoying it, but I'm not sure this is necessarily a game for everybody. So I'm kind of showing this to my viewers in the hope that maybe they'll discover the style, maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. But this is certainly an interesting game. And I will qualify this as a kind of simulation of creating an empire, space empire. So let's start a new game. So I will go with a custom game. So you have different options for people which are not well familiar with the game. So you have different scenario you can start with, but personally I do like to start a custom game where I can set up pretty much everything, and I think that's one of the strengths of that game, is that you actually do have a lot of customization which can influence a lot the way the game works. So I think you can really end up making this game have the pace and the criteria to evolve in a certain way that you like. So let's go with the custom start. So here you can define the galaxy. You can even load the galaxy map which were designed by other people if you want, or that you created yourself, and you can design, well, choose the shape and form of the galaxy. So I think I'll go with let's make even cluster. That will give a good chance for all the faction in there to survive a while without being destroyed by their neighbor. Star amount. So you can have actually a game which goes up to 1400 stars, and that is a lot of system, because in each of those star system you end up having many planets, and that's a lot of management. So I probably won't go there. I think 700 is it's not necessarily reasonable, but it's more acceptable. Even going to 400 is still a lot of star system. Physical size, that's probably the most important characteristic to define, because if you make a tiny physical size, your ships will go from one star system to another super fast. So you end up having a very fast kind of war going on between faction, and everything goes fast. But if you put the biggest, which is 15 by 15, then making your fleet go across the galaxy will take forever. So that might not be the one you want necessarily, because this game can take weeks to complete. But I'll go with medium, which is an acceptable trade-off. Expansion. This is pretty much where you define the state of development of the galaxy. So for example, if you want the galaxy to be filled with very developed empire, you can put it all the way to old, where a faction will literally have the latest technology and everything. Or you can put it pre-warp, where everybody is starting in the same kind of condition, which is probably a good idea. I kind of like pre-warp. Starting can be okay, but starting will give you warp technology, and as a result of this you can spread around the galaxy very fast. While starting with pre-warp, it might give you a small edge in expending faster than other faction at the beginning, if you're faster than them to discover the warp technology. But What I like about it is mostly that it allows you to really focus on developing your own solar system first, and then you can expand elsewhere. So it kind of slow down the pace a little, but in a good way, I think. Aggression, that's the difficulty. Well, that's how aggressive everybody is. I'll leave it to normal because sometimes it's nice to be able to make allies as opposed to just being at war constantly. Difficulty, I put it at hard because normal is kinda easy. I've never tried the very hard or extreme. Might be possible to play that, but let's do it with hard for now. Research cost. I kinda like to go with very expensive because what that does is that it slows down the development pace of the game, because if you put it to normal it goes really fast and you end up having all technologies. And you end up having all the research too fast for my taste. So very expensive is okay. You can even increase it. Some people, they put it to the max and it takes forever to reach any technology. Also, that might impact different species. Some species have a trait which are to be extremely dumb. So that make them do mistake and slow them down in the technological development. So that might putting this too high might be in their disfavor too much. Space creature, it's good to have a few, but they're not that amazing, so that's why I don't put them to normal. So a few is okay for me. Pirates, they can be very dangerous, or they can be very harmless depending. I kinda don't like the pirates, although they can play a big role, so it's very much a question of what you like. I will put them to very few, and okay, but let's put them weak, give them a little chance. You can also play pirates if you want. There's an option for that. Then I will regenerate the resource scenery and everything. This way it will ensure that it's randomize all their stuff that spawn at the beginning. Okay, so colonization. Colony prevalence. Usually that's well, how much colonizable planet are around you at the beginning. So I'll put that to scarce because I don't want the empires to develop too quickly. So I want to slow them down at the beginning. This way you don't end up with superpowers super fast. Independent alien life. Usually that's planet which have a certain species on it, and you can end up capturing the planet. They also end up being defended by pirates sometime, and they can ultimately become a faction by themselves. But that's rather rare. So I put them to rare because if you put too many of them, I find that it can end up leading to quick expansion on using them instead of developing colonization technology. Colony influence range. Usually I think that's what define essentially you can end up having claims over certain solar system with another faction, and that can lead to war. So I put it to 80%, let's say. Of course, that depends also the size of the galaxy. They say 80% for 8 by 8 sectors, so I'll go with 80%. Here you can enforce a colonization range limit, and that's also very important, because if you do not put that, you can end up being able to colonize all over the place super fast. And that's not necessarily what you want to do or you want to experience, because you can end up having a race from the other side of the galaxy colonize a planet near you, and that lead to war with the super far race. So it takes forever to destroy them or fight the war against them. And you also end up colonizing stuff which is too far from your home system. So that's good to enforce a kind of colonization range limit. I'll put it to 1.5, let's say. There you go. This way I'm able to expand, but not too fast. Okay, here you choose your race. Each race have different perk, I guess. And you have pretty funny race like that one. This one, it's a race of yeah, they are rodent. So, and they are quite aggressive, extremely reckless, extremely friendly, extremely stupid, very dependable. So, the extremely stupid is very important when it comes to research, because they keep making mistakes which are extremely stupid, and that set back your evolution quite a bit. That's a race of bear, I think. You can read more about the race if you feel like it. They are really primitive. Oh yeah, and sometimes some race have event like they're making that dance which make better hunter or that kind of stuff. It's kind of funny. So there is different kind of race. So these were rodent, then you have some kind of insect, and different type of insect. You have a reptilian. These guys are actually usually pretty smart. And of course you have humans. You have these guys which are Ursidian. Not sure what that is actually. Then you have a humanoid like these, big brain. Or these guys, very friendly people. Or these guys, rodent people. Another ugly race right here. Yeah, they seem... And of course, each race have a kind of tendency to either like each other or hate each other. Even have the dinosaur here. So I think what I'll do is I'll choose an interesting race, which will be human. Why not? So of course here you have different type of bonus, and they are humans are really good usually. Okay, here you can define your empire. You can define the type of home system. I'll leave it to normal. If you put it to excellent, you end up having an amazing system which gives you so much advantage, but we won't do that. The size will be starting. Otherwise, you can put it to you can put yourself into a more developed empire if you want that. Tech level, I leave myself to pre-warp. Otherwise, I will expand way too fast. Corruption, I guess I'll put it to normal. Well, here you have different type of government. And of course, each type of government have different bonus and disadvantage. So right here it's Way of the Ancient. But I think I'll go with democracy. Question of being fair to my people, yeah. And starting location, let's go at the edge. So I'll be at the edge of the galaxy. Here you can define the empires you want in your game, and I will auto-generate them because just defining them is a little crazy. Might take forever. So 19 empires and independent alien colonies can start to be a new empire during the game, so we might have an increase in race. Here you actually have the victory conditions, and I pretty much set it up to have no victory condition whatsoever, because I don't like to have an ending to that kind of game other than the one I choose. And here you can allow or disallow trading of technology, so that can slow down or speed up the game pace. And giant Kaltor, that's a big wildlife, I guess, which will kill everything. Very unfriendly. Here you have different story, which are the different DLCs, and you have some story which pop up from time to time, which can be interesting. And yeah, you have stuff happening in there. But we'll start the game now. So it can take a short while to load. It's usually not super long, but it creates a galaxy. What do you expect? Okay, so there you go. This is a presentation of my empire. I don't know if you guys want to read it or not. But usually, essentially, what it does, it defines the characteristic you put in there when you do a custom startup. So that just explain what I did. So this is my planet. It's all blue. Look like something I know. Okay, so the first thing to do usually will be to build a medium spaceport, let's say. So we'll create the international station up there. Now the second thing you might want to do will be to build a construction ship, at least one. But that probably will go to at least 3. Then once the station will be completed, I will build some scouting ships. So let's see what kind of galaxy we're in. So this is the galaxy, and now that's a lot of small dot. Each light dot is a solar system. Then you have some crusts, which are usually nebula, and all these things. If we go back to the solar system, not necessarily here. Let's see. I'll go on. Okay, so that's the solar system. Each of those planets have different resource, which I'm not aware of yet because I do not have any scout or exploring ship. And your goal is pretty much at the beginning to develop technologies to go at warp speed, because if you don't have that, you can, well, I guess you can, but it's not recommended to go outside of your solar system. So here you have the technology tree, which is probably one of the most complete one in game recently. Usually in that kind of games it's much smaller, which is a shame, because that's pretty much what's fun about that kind of game, is to be able to prioritize your tree of development. So here they recommend me to research, improve esoteric. I'm not necessarily interested in that yet. I guess what I'll do is I'm not sure actually. That's weapon technology I'm searching, so I'll go with laser. Laser has plenty of research there, and usually it's a reliable weapon. So that was weaponry research. Then energy and construction. Do I want a shield? No, I don't necessarily want a shield yet. I will instead research energy collection, which allow my ship to kind of refill themselves in energy. Slowly, but it's better than not having it. And then I will research space construction after, which will allow me to make bigger ship. Now in high-tech, what do I want? Transport and storage system. Storage system will make my traders make more money. Okay, I guess that's okay. And after storage system, I'll be researching transport system. So this is a pre-warp start, and at the beginning this game has a public, well, I guess a government funded element to it, which is usually what you do, and it has a private sectors, which is something you do not necessarily have control on, but they make money, and in exchange you tax them, which is very good. So I'm currently building a first station, which will allow me to build ships. The planet can build some type of ships, but it's usually construction ships or colonization ships. Okay, so what happened there is my scientists made the breakthrough, so that will speed up the rate at which the laser technology will come in my end. So the spaceport has been constructed. So what I'll do now is I will build recon ships. 3 of them, and with these I'll explore the system. Also, one thing which is important to say about this game is that in this game you can really go with controlling every single aspect of the life in it. So you can end up really controlling everything. So you can assign your different characters to different tasks. You can control every single ships. Actually, many people, what they say in their videos about this game is you should probably start by just controlling one ship, which is something I did not do because that's not particularly interesting for me. But because of the appearance of complexity, I would say, it might be a good idea to essentially start small and automate many things. So for example, you can really automate everything in this. Ultimately, you can make the game play itself if you feel like it. Now I kind of set up the game to be managed automatically on some aspects. For example, tax level, I don't care about that, and so it's automated. And assigning the characters, sure, you can optimize everything a little, but it's not necessarily something I'm interested to do. And so you can choose what you want to do and what you're not interested in doing at all. So for example, here we discovered a small location which gave us some money. That's kind of useful, but that's not really what I need. I need pre-warp technology. So this ship right here, that's a construction ship. We'll build another one because at the beginning you want to be able to develop your solar system with these. And actually he's already heading to a planet to build a mining station. Now because this is pre-warp technology, you can see that he's not going particularly fast. And also, I will point out that currently I'm going 4 times the speed. So if I go at normal speed, you can see that it is extremely slow. So the beginning of that game is usually rather slow. But if we look at different planets, for example, here there seems to be a ship which you can get. So this recon ship is capturing it, which is very nice. In 2 aspects. For one, you can use it in your fleet now, because some of them can be repaired, but this one was in good shape. So you can either use it in your fleet. Usually these ships have good weaponry. Or you can retire it, which is what I'll do. And when you retire a ship to a shipyard, you gain technology. Or technology boost. Now you can see here these guys are not ships which I bought myself. That's the private sector which is kicking in. Now these guys, they notice that, oh look, that planet has a resource over there which we don't have on our own planet. So let's go get it and then we'll sell it on the main planet. So this is the private sector. What they'll do usually is they will either go mine stuff or they will use your station as trading place. Oh, here's a pirate ship, which is, let's see, firepower 20. That's a good ship. And pirates at the beginning are usually blackmailing you, so they say, oh, look, we would like to protect you. And if you don't pay them, they attack you. So I guess at the beginning, I will pay for protection. Otherwise, they can literally probably destroy my spaceport. Actually, maybe not. My spaceport have good firepower. But they seem to have raided a little my colony, which is rather annoying. But we'll be fine, no problem. Now that ship that I did salvage on the other planet is getting to my spaceport, where I will dismantle it and do research on it. So the first development of beam weapon has been achieved. I'll go with the second one. I think it's good to specialize in a specific weaponry area. Okay, so one of the aspects which is nice is you can automate stuff, or you can do it manually, or you can ask the computer to recommend you some stuff, and which is the option I went for. So my advisor are suggesting stuff. So here, offer smuggling mission to pirates. I think, okay. I will trade using black market some resources. So here I actually built a mining station, which will provide me some resources that my planet will appreciate. At the beginning, I guess having two construction ship is reasonable, because you don't necessarily want to build too many, because you do not have warp technology yet, which allow you to get out of that solar system. So, and if you have too many ships to retrofit, it takes a while for them to go within your solar system back to base and retrofit. So having just two is okay. Also, if you have too many and you develop too quickly your public sector of exploitation of the resource in the solar system, you might end up not necessarily helping your private sector to do stuff. Oh, look. My scientists did not follow the right path when it comes to researching those solar panels. As a result, there's a kind of a setback in my research. So here you have diplomacy, and you see the pirates, which seem to be of an equal force as me. The only difference is that the pirates usually have warp technology already. So they can literally bully you a little. Now here you have some space slug, which are, well, they can be dangerous. Attack strength 5. So usually you will want to destroy these as fast as possible. Okay, we have discovered some technology over there. There's even a ship here which can be repaired. So here what I'll do is we'll research warp field precursor and then hyperdrive technology as fast as possible. Okay, I guess I will have to suspend the development of these for the cause. Because really having warp technology really does the difference. Yeah, I think I will take action against these because they can be dangerous. Well, it's not so much that they risk to kill my ships, it's mostly that they are preventing my ships from doing stuff. Okay, here there's an independent trader. And that's really good because independent trader make your economy go better. And trading with other empire really increase your income. So here, when you click those different button on the left side, you have access to quickly to important information. So for example, here you have potential mining location. And when it's green, usually that means that it's in your own system, so you actually have a real claim on it. When it's gray, it can be anywhere outside of your a system with one of your planet. So usually when you do that, you can end up having some conflict with your neighbors. But I will say that it can also be something that allow you to trade with your neighbor, because if you build a station in their territory, then you're able to negotiate with them. Oh look, I have this station which is potentially interesting for you. Maybe you will be interested in me giving it to you, and in exchange you can give me a technology or something else. So that can end up being a trading agreement. Also, you have different planets which have some bonus. For example, this one here, if you build a research station around these, it will speed up your research. So that can be a very good thing. Especially at the beginning, where your all research points you make are really important, which make me think that I should probably develop that. So I'll build 2 energy research station to speed up the research of those warp predecessor. I can see my private sector ships getting close to the asteroid to mine them, but the space creature is keeping them away. Oh, did I just have a setback? Yeah, I just had a big setback in the fuel research. It seems that my humans are not particularly smart so far. They had 2 setbacks. Oh, and 1 breakthrough. I guess what I'll do is I'll build a small fleet. Yeah, like these. And triangle ship, well, ships with the triangle around them are usually military ships. And with these I'll go try to destroy those monsters over there. Strange part is that it says that I just built a military ship, but I already had one, so I don't know where that one is coming from. So right now what I'm doing is I'm ordering my construction ship to build mining station on the different planet. You can also build on asteroid, like right here. Some asteroid have some resource which can be interesting. But it's certainly not as good as having a planet. Much more resource on a planet, of course. Wow, this guy is really bad at searching for a fuel cell. That's the second setback in that research. Oh, on the other hand, the people in weaponry seem really good. Okay, so I'll choose these 3 ships. And I will make a fleet. Or maybe not, it's a little early to make a fleet. So what I'll do is I'll order them to attack those slug over there. My impression is that I will likely lose these ships. You have 10 of firepower. Yeah, I think the pilot of that ship is drunk. Unfortunately, that creature doesn't seem to care much about my ship shooting it. That other creature seems a little more aggressive. Well, that pilot might be drunk, but he know how to get away. Actually, some pilots really end up having the trait of being drunk. Wow, that's amazing. The ship actually managed to survive. Okay, 41% done with the warp predecessor or warp predecessor. So we'll soon be able to get out of that solar system and explore these star system and all the dangers over there. Very nice. My scientists now did a breakthrough, which appear as that lightning strike there. The thing in this mode that I created custom with the custom setup is when you start pre-warp, it's kind of slow at the beginning, and I think that's a good thing because as soon as you start expanding beyond your solar system, you end up being in contact with factions, and it can get crazy really quickly. Because this game is very much like a simulator of a space empire, and with the private sector and everything, you end up having so many ships all over the place. It's pretty to look at, especially when zoomed out like this. You end up seeing ships flying everywhere, and it's kind of hard to make a good representation of it in your head about what's happening. And this game, if you're really into it big time, you can end up managing everything. So you can end up ordering your patrol, protect that ship or that ship, and do everything one after the other. But I think automation of some aspect of the game is a necessity. Otherwise, you end up clicking way too many times on way too many buttons. Okay, this enforcer will go refuel and repair. Okay, very nice. Now I have hyperspace technology, so I will retrofit my ships. I will also fire the pirates from protecting me, and I will build more ships, which are recommended. So once you have warp technology like I do, the one I have is kind of slow, but once you have that, it gets crazy. Oh great, giant Cultor. They killed one of my scientists. Monsters. I guess I will have to have a fleet to kill these. Now the only issue is that, oh, you just saw a few of my ships jump to those Cultor probably. Okay, it's time to choose some research. I guess what I'll do here is I will research some missile improvement. And also some point defense things. This way I'll be able to potentially intercept some fighters and missiles, which will come my way. So I do have warp technology, the early version, which is super slow. It takes forever to reach another system, but currently I'm searching the second level of warp technology, which goes probably 3 or 4 times, even 5 times faster. Anyway, you can keep developing those warp technology to go much faster, and the bigger size of galaxy you put, the more you'll need that. Now the only issue that I might have in terms of technology is that I don't necessarily have energy collection yet, which is rather useful usually. Now these giant Cultor can be quite a pain when they are in your system. And currently my ships, they seem to be chasing them, but I don't really have much firepower right now. Yeah, I do fully automated the ship's upgrades because sure you can design. Whoops. So you can design the upgrades, yeah, but it's just that up to a certain point, the automatic design does the job well, and sometime I end up designing ships myself for some specific case. But when it comes to, well, let me show you. So you have all these different ships which are different design and or function, I guess. So having to upgrade all this to the latest technology can be rather annoying. So sometimes what you want to do is you design your own ship, and actually some of your own design can be very good. But it's just that generally speaking, I don't necessarily find it that interesting to do it myself for every single one of them. Oh wow, that's a big monster. And you can see how the the fleet decided to answer this. Fortunately, the station was strong enough to take care of that. Don't even have shield technology yet. You can see that those giant Calter really make short work of the ships around. You can see here when we zoom out that some of my exploration ships are starting to head out. So they are exploring a little, but you can see from that circle that they're not really going too far, and that's largely due to the fact that my scientists were too dumb to actually manage to do that fuel cell thing. So they fail multiple times at reaching the conclusion of that fuel technology. Yeah, the reason why I use auto is because sure you can really geek out on designing stuff, and that's fine, but it's a significant amount of time to do it. So I think the basic design that the computer does in automation is good enough in most cases. And if you want to make some specific ships, uh, you can do it, and if you really want a kind of emotional connection with a specific ship, you create its own design and you keep manually upgrading it yourself. But for the rest, upgrading most ships doesn't really matter much to me. And I think this game kind of appealed to some specific people because up to a certain point there's many aspects of the game which are extremely let's say repetitive or tedious to do, and it comes again and again, and I guess some people might like that, but in my case I kind of prefer to focus on the global aspect of things instead of doing too much micromanagement. And so far I don't really see much of a negative impact in not caring about many micromanagement things. Like for example, here you have different characters, and each of those characters can do mission for you. But the AI seem to be doing fine with it, and I don't really care about these guys. Now, of course, if you're really into details, I guess it might be very appealing to manage these guys. But I think on a universe scale, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, so that engineer ship, or construction ship actually, has warp technology. So I think I will start to build mining station outside my own system. So here the convenience of this table here allows you to send your ships to construct stuff outside your system without really looking. I guess you can zoom out and do this, for example, and here you have a kind of yellow circle showing you where that is. But thanks to this table, you don't necessarily have to look at it. Now, I guess up to a certain point, you can prioritize the resource you want. But from my experience, it doesn't really matter. What you want is really to have those stations on as many planets as you want. Because especially when it comes to war, you will end up being attacked all over the place in some case, so you want to have as many stations as backup as possible because you will lose a lot of ground. Okay, now that I did order around many construction, I will build a few construction ship to complete this. So 5 of them, because I want to expand as fast as possible. So I will retrofit my recon ships. This way they'll be able to explore the galaxy much faster. So my advisor recommended me to build a few more military ships. There you go. Well, yeah, usually war ends up being really spread out. And that can be a good thing in some case. Uh, but at the same time, my main, let's see, how to express that. Well, what I don't necessarily like about the way the war is fought is that you end up into a cat and mouse fight. So, yeah, you can do two things. One of them is to try to chase the enemy fleet, which can be sometimes annoying when you don't necessarily have the right technology for it. Or you can simply ignore the enemy fleet and go for their own system and just let them destroy all your stuff in the back. Which is something that I have a tendency to do, so I just go destroy them prior to them being able to destroy me. And usually my planets end up being very well defended. But I guess now I could probably invest a little more in science. So I'll build some research stations. Okay, so I'm starting to build many stations now on the different system which are over there. And I think building mining station in this is really a matter of claiming the area. So I think it's important to build as many mining stations, not only for the economic input it gives your empire, but also for just the purpose of saying, look, that's my territory, so don't come and mess with me. Now, of course, these species don't care about that, so I'll have to take care of that. I must say the kind of planet I'm finding are not particularly diverse in resource. It seems to be very, well, pretty much around 2 or 3 of the same resource. Yeah, I'll go with colonization and research so that I can expand. It seems that I have no military fleet currently because those giant Qatar are killing them. Oh, they are even killing my mining station. I guess I will have to build a big fleet to counter that. Okay, so I'm building a bunch of destroyer and I put them into a fleet, so this way right as they come out of the production assembly I'll be able to group them up and send them to destroy those giant culture, hopefully. Oh look, an independent colonies. They only have 1 troops, so I guess when I'll have transport I'll be able to land there. Well, here's the good news. I do have troops, so I'll build 4 transport. I'll increase the amount of troops on the planet so I can pick them up. Okay, so my fleet are trying to kill those Kaltor, but sadly no luck. Just managed to kill half of its health. Let's say that my laser technology doesn't seem particularly amazing right now. Okay, that's a bad idea to send troop transport into a fight. Yeah, it seems that I will have to prioritize the destruction of those giant Kaldor. Yeah, the humans seem to be able to do a lot of alliance very quickly. I'm trying to rebuild my fleet. Well, finally managed to get one. Got the other one, finally. Okay, it's time to build some troop transport. And with these troop transport, I will go land on that planet, which is over here, that is occupied by independent people. This is a species which is adapted to volcanic area. So it's time to load the fleet with a bunch of marines. And now I'll go land on that planet, hopefully. There won't be too much resistance. And in theory, that should become a colony, if I remember correctly how that works. Okay, I did manage to have better missile technology. Oh no, that's point defense technology. I will research some armor plating, which will make my ships a little tougher. So you can see my fleet heading there, and hopefully I'll be able to capture that planet. Now you can see that there is some, the circles are traders, so these are ships which I'm not controlling. So you end up having a kind of an economy developing. I'll create another giant color, just what you need. I'm choosing a little more the kind of mining station I want and the kind of resource that I'll get from that. One of my energy research station has been destroyed by sabotage. It's probably the pirates doing. The pirates will try to do everything to slow your growth down. So I did manage to land a few troops down there, and I did manage to take control of the place. So that's my first colony. I will build a small port on it. This will allow me to trade. As well as repair my ships. The only issue that I have right now is my fleet is a little low on fuel, but fortunately, gas giant is the best thing to refuel a fleet. I can see all the traders which are coming in into that planet, and what they do is they bring resource. Oh, another independent colony. Once my fleet will be refueled, I'll bring them back here, and then I will send my troops onto that independent colony. which is over here. Yeah, that's usually why I don't really like those independent colonies, because I do not have the colonization technology yet. And with these independent, you're gonna end up spreading around really quickly. And I think it speed up the game a little too much. Because you end up having big empire really early on. And that's something I don't necessarily like. I guess if you're into action, that can be fine, but kind of like I like that kind of game to last a long time. The good news is that we're starting to find a few planets which have more than one resource. We'll continue to improve the missiles. That is a lot of traders. So we just met two new empires, which we'll likely try to trade with. I guess right now it's too early, they don't like us. They don't like us because we're too new. They don't know how we behave. Since I do have a proper population here, I will develop some research station. There we go, hopefully that will speed up my research. And I will research shields. Because you do want to have some shields to protect you from the early enemy blows at you. Now you can see that we're starting to have some activity going on. Lots of traders. Now we're even ally with one faction. Which you can see right down here. So they currently have only one solar system. Also have contact with a few other factions. So 2 factions are there. And that seems to be it. There's clearly another faction over here. Or maybe not, I don't know. But you can start to see some traders going all the way to that other faction to trade resources. So what I'll do here is I will reload my fleet in troops, and I will try to land my well, a few troops on another planet, which will become part of my empire, hopefully. So here we go for another invasion. Just ordered one mining station from somebody else to be attacked by pirates. Hopefully that will not backfire on me. Yeah, the cash flow is a bit of a problem indeed. We'll work on fixing that. Well, that's one of the story that happened. So it tells you some stuff about yourself. Well, there seems to be a faction right next to me. Yeah, I'll research some engine technology to make sure that my ship can move fast within the system and maneuver around. It's kind of lucky that there's apparently no enemy faction here yet. There's only that guy here. And he doesn't seem to have a big fleet. Only 5 ships in the fleet. How do you get more cash flow? Good question. I guess we can go into our empire. And let's see. Cash on hand, 27,000. Ship maintenance. Troop maintenance. So I guess I'm having too much of a fleet and too much of an army to have a good cash flow. So I probably should reduce a little the size of my fleet. So why not? So I sent a couple of ships to retire. Hopefully that will allow me to have a better cash flow. Because anyway, I don't think that I need that many ships to capture independent colonies. And when I look at the fleet of those guys here, which is only made of 5 ships, I don't think they are much of a danger yet. Also, I guess my land army might be a little too big for the purpose. But I just don't like to take any chance. And also, since producing land forces take a while, sometime it can be a good idea to have a few in advance. Oh, and other faction give me money. I don't like... well, okay, I accept the money. And after that they will ask me more. Okay, so I did an exchange of maps, which probably put me into contact with more factions. And more contact mean more problem ultimately. Or more friends to trade with. I think my fleet main issue is probably the small amount of fuel they have. Okay, just did the energy. So what did I do? Okay, I will enhance maneuvering, which will allow my fleet to potentially maneuver better in a fight. I'm sure these independent people love to have a mining station taking all the resource from their planet without them having a word about it. Now my troop transports, which are rather slow, are landing some troops on the ground, which lead to that kind of battle. I kinda even force right now, but I will likely lose this until my reinforcements come in. But they are so slow. It's like, hurry up, faster. Yeah, sure, free trade agreement. As long as you don't do anything too dangerous, uh, most race will actually become very friendly toward you. I think this planet is moving faster than my trade ship, no, transport ship is able to catch it. But there we go, managed to capture the place, I think. Or did I? No, actually I'm not sure, I don't think I did. Okay, I seem to have managed. So I will build a small spaceport. I kinda like to start with a small spaceport because you can retrofit them into bigger spaceport later on and still have them active while you're doing so. Well, if you do a big spaceport, then you're stuck, and you know, you're pretty much stuck waiting for it to be completed before having any benefit. I'm still negative in the cash flow, but I'm still making money nonetheless. Now these guys don't like me. Pirates want to protect me. No, I don't mind. I will ensure to develop as much as possible each planet of my own solar systems. I will retire more ships. I don't think I need such a big fleet. Also, my technology is getting better. So that does allow me to rely on less ships. Yeah, those giant cattle are really a pain. That's good. I managed to find a rather good colony ship here. So I'm sending this colony ship to colonize a planet which seems to have a proper resource. A good diversity of resource, which will be beneficial to my empire. Interesting. Okay, I was just checking if there was a way to make more free trade agreement or mutual defense pact. Sadly, no. Just developing that colony. What? Ah, damn. Could not colonize that place because it's already occupied by somebody else. So I guess we'll go elsewhere. I don't even have the technology for colonizing yet. Okay, there is a big monster there. So with that colony ship that I acquired, I managed to colonize this. But that was well, this is another race than humans. So I already have 4 different races in my empire. This area over there seemed to be very divided between multiple factions. Now here is actually a wreck field, I guess, junkyard, or the place where there was a battle or something, defended by a giant cator. But with the construction ship, you can actually repair those ships, and then you can either keep them or retire them and get bonus in technology research. I'm using some smuggling mission to get the resource where they are needed. Yeah, actually, in this game, you can end up having robots and AIs which think like humans. Look at that. Let's see, I think it's an iTech. Or maybe not. I don't remember where that is. But I remember seeing a research which allows the construction of essentially AIs, which will take over the galaxy. Oh yeah, there it is. Machine intelligence. Lead to a new life form of sentinel computer code and machine. This wonder also provide a 75 bonus in high-tech research for your empire. Additionally, for each year this wonder remains standing, your empire will receive a 5% victory condition bonus. Yeah. So essentially, this thing, that's Big Brother. Seems that I'm using the pirates well. Oh, interesting. So right away as I see this thing that I saw right here, I decided to send a construction ship because this is like a doomsday machine. So if you build one of these or repair one of these actually, this can be a very powerful ship. And it's kind of rare that you discover these without a construction ship already fixing it from another faction. And usually when that happens, what you do is well, either you can end up at war with that faction which is fixing that ship, or you can simply blow it up, blow the big ship prior to it being repaired, which is a good plan usually. What I wonder about is how come these guys have such a big circle around their planet, while I only have a tiny one. Well, right now this is one galaxy, which has 700 different solar system, which all have probably at least 6 planet or that kind of stuff per system. So that can get crazy. And the game allows you to go to 1,400. So that can go pretty insane over time. And each of those small circles are traders moving around. And right here, that's my empire, made of 4 planets. And down there, that's another empire, which seem to be expanding rather fast. But they are my allies, so normally I should not be concerned about them yet. Well, these guys, they are still stuck in their own system, apparently. They have a fleet of 16 ships. I'm a kind of purple color. And I'm humanity. Which doesn't mean I'm the only human in that universe. But you can see that so far the empires are not expanding that much. Most of them are still stuck probably in pre-warp technology. There's only that faction, the blue guys, which are expanding a lot, but that's a race which is good at science, which kind of give them an edge. But in my case, humans are also good in science, but I'm not sure if they are as good as these other guys, which make me think that I should probably offer them to trade some stuff. Look, they are really leading in power. Whoa, look at that. They have all that technology that I don't have. Now, that's one thing which I really like in that game. It's the way the trading does work. It's super easy to understand. And in many games, it's like you have no idea what is worth what, but in this, you have a number right next to the whatever it is you want to trade, and that gives you the value of things, which make it super easy to actually make a fair deal with other factions. So let's see, what do we want here? Do we want starfighters, nuclear fission, enhanced construction? What is that? Oh yeah. Engines, maneuvering, countermeasure, tech, okay. Colonization. Now I'm searching that. Okay, they do have a lot of research. I think I will go with nuclear fission. I'll give them missiles. Well, that seems fair. No, that's not fair. Still need 1 more million. Now that seems fair. And I offer a higher value than what they offer me. Oh, that was a good deal. And that will serve me well, hopefully. Now, the advisor really recommend me to build a big fleet. Okay, nice. Got better shield now. I will research enhance construction. This way my ship will be able to be bigger. I guess I shall try to trade again with another faction. Well, it seems then, other than the faction which seem to be expanding right now, the other factions don't necessarily have any technology that I'm interested in. And that blue faction is really doing a good job right now. Okay, that was weird. I think the pirates are attacking me. Now, if we look at that galaxy, there seems to be only one pirate faction, probably. That seemed to be the HQ of that pirate faction. Well, very nice. One other faction decided to become an ally with me. Yeah, this game doesn't have the best graphic ever, and actually, I think even by 2D standard, I find the graphic a little. Well, they could be improved, and there's actually a few mods which does just that. They improve the visual a little. But I think the main interest of that game is mostly the game mechanic, and I think the aim here is likely to make a kind of simulation of the entire thing of a space empire. And I think this is really a kind of game which is will appeal to people which appreciate most of the action to be in their own head. So because I think it's up to a certain point, a lot of what's going on is a story you make yourself. And I think, yeah, I think that it's there's a couple of small aspects of that game which are funny and immersive, but yeah, I really think that the whole story of this game is something that happen within yourself as opposed to on the screen itself. And I think when it comes to the research, I think they did well. I think the tech tree is probably one of the most developed one lately in that kind of games. Also, the fight I think should be a little more interesting. I don't necessarily feel a connection, emotional connection with the ships, and when I lose a ship, it doesn't really matter much to me. And I think that's probably something which is missing. At the same time, you can decide to just play one ship in this game. You can live the life of a single ship if you feel like it. But I'm more into grand scale strategy. But it's just that I don't necessarily feel a connection with those ships, especially when you end up with a fleet of 700 ships later on in the game, when it gets a little crazy. No, that's a powerful ships that I just found there. And I think that's my main critique about this game is I think it's a fine simulation of a space empire, but it's just that I feel a kind of disconnection with what's happening, and I think the 2D aspect of battles just doesn't really satisfy my space war interest. And for example, if you look at Star Drive, which is a similar game, I think the tech tree of Star Drive is not particularly stimulating, uh, but the fights are kind of cool. But you still end up having the problem of not necessarily caring about uh, your single ships. While from back in the days of Master of Orion 2, first of all, the design of your ship was much more important than in this. In this, I don't really feel the urge of designing all single ships, but in Master of Orion 2, you had the capacity to design every single ships, and every single ships were important in the battle ultimately to win. And I think you did not necessarily have the scale of battle that you have in this. In this, you can really end up having your screen filled with ships shooting at each other in a kind of Star Wars battle type. But it ended up being so chaotic that it doesn't really matter what you do in this. You just look at the site and you let them shoot each other, and what happened to every single ship doesn't necessarily matter. I guess you can micromanage a fleet of a few ships if you feel like it. And actually, I'm pretty sure that the most dedicated player of that game do that. But as a not so dedicated player to that game, I guess I don't really care about micromanaging the fleet that much, because I don't feel that the game mechanic encouraged me to do so, and I don't necessarily feel any emotional connection with the fleet. Or if I lose a fleet of 700 ships, I don't really care. You know, it's like, for example, in this game you end up having technology that can blow up planets, and when the planet blow up, it can blow up all the ships which are near it. So you end up losing potentially 100 ships which are near it, and you just don't care because you know, so many lost. It's a statistic, as somebody said. So I think this game, it's great what they're doing, but at the same time, it has. Depending the player which is playing it, it depends. It can change the nature of the appreciation of this game. And also, as I said before, you can really automize, well, make an automatic choice by the computer. Ultimately, you can make the game play itself, and it won't be a problem. And I think it's great that you can do so. But at the same time, it's like for designing ship, I don't care. I won't do it myself unless I want to do a specific ships. And so far, I rarely do it. So it's kind of cool, but it's counterproductive up to a certain point when it comes to really shaping the game yourself. But other than that, I think that this game is really great. It's just a matter of finding, and as I show at the beginning of this live stream, you really can shape this game to your liking in terms of being able to, you know, have the gameplay style that you want. If you want it fast-paced, you can do it. If you don't want it fast-paced, you can make it super slow. Like here, I will say that's a kind of medium pace in terms of pace you can have. So this game does allow an enormous variety of pace, and I think that's great. But I think sometimes it has a downside to it. And that depends how lazy of a player you are. And for example, here in my case, there's many things which are automated. So normally, the most dedicated player of that game will probably manage tags, assign specific governor to specific planets. I automated all this because I don't really mind that. And I don't seem to suffer from my lack of commitment to that aspect of the game. But if you want to do it, you can. Personally, I mostly like to choose the priority in my research that will shape the kind of ships that I'll have, and then I'll be able to conquer the neighboring factions. That's what I like about this game. Or that's not so much what I like about this game, but that's how I like to play it. Because I think that's cool. That you can customize it to your liking. So I'm starting to have a few planets under my control now. I'm at 6 planets, which is a good thing. Now just so you realize something here, these are potential mining location, and currently my explorers have found, or I traded maps with my neighbors, 1,315. So that's let's see, that's only that part of the universe, I guess, which is not that explored over here. But I guess it's mostly this part. And that part doesn't seem explored. So yeah. Just in this area there seem to be 1,335 things. And what I'm doing right now is I'm building mining station there to exploit the resource. Now this other race right here is usually pretty strong in research. Will enhance my commerce so that I can make more money. Also, I think, let's see, are my construction ship buzzy? Yeah, they are. But one thing which I will likely do soon is I will start to explore the world and fix wrecks from around the galaxy. Oh, I was at war with somebody? Really? I had not noticed this. Must have been pretty far for me to be at war with him. So if we look at that last option here, these are special location, and what's interesting about special location is how you can build stuff there. No, actually you cannot build stuff there, but what's interesting is you can find stuff there. So for example, right here, you have an entire fleet which is completely damaged and messed up. And you can end up repairing these and use them in your fleet, or dismantle them and use that as technology. Well, that will boost your technology. I think it's time to trade some technology. Wow, these guys are amazing in research. That's crazy. Look at all they have and what I have. Essentially, I have no technology that they don't have. Sadly, I'm too poor to get enhanced hyperdrives. Okay, well, that wasn't a super useful trade, but I guess that will do. That will allow me to spot the enemy fleet faster. Okay, there's a monster there. I need to kill that thing. So we'll send my mighty fleet. Yeah, I guess I will not mess with those guys down there. They seem way too powerful for everybody. Well, these guys don't seem friendly at all. Now, just to give a small sense of the scale of the map that I chose, this is my first fleet, which is extremely slowly going to that system just to kill a single enemy monster, I guess, hostile monster. It's taking a while. I think I really need to research faster hyperdrive technology. Yeah, essentially my empire is here, and there's a bar which indicates how strong you are in relation to others. And that's the blue guys here. They are really on top of everybody. I don't seem particularly strong compared to others. But in this game you can create situation where you will be like a nobody. And then from being a nobody, you will have to make your way through the galaxy against fully equipped advanced civilizations. Well, also part of the explanation why I'm that weak is that my fleet is really small. Because when you look at how many ship the AI tells me that I should build. I should build 9 frigates, 13 destroyer, and 5 exploration ships. But I don't necessarily see the need of doing so. Well, what's my plan? I'm not sure what it is. Currently, I'm allied with these guys, which are the strongest. My neighbors seems rather weak. That other faction here, usually these guys are rather strong. So I guess in the short term, I probably should work on securing this area from the 3 different factions that are not particularly technological or are rather limited in their expansion. Yeah, I'll go with fast mining, and that will improve my economy, hopefully. Well, my first fleet is really outdated or something. I think I will scrap them. They're probably old technology which I did not retrofit. Well, apparently he destroyed or killed one of my captain or something. Okay, so let's see. What I'll do is I will replace these ships with new one. Actually, maybe not. I think I will accumulate money for now, and I will try to invest that into technology. And while I'm here, I will take a look at the kind of enemy, well, not necessarily enemies, but people which are around me. So this is a potentially good target. Only have one colony. But they do have a lot of ships. Couple of defense platform, space station. How much firepower is that? Oh, the scout left. I guess in the short run, what I'll do is I will make some escort ships. Because with those escort ships, I hope they'll be able to protect a little my different traders or space station from those giant Kator. I must say my scientists are really bad. Usually humans get a lot of breakthrough, but I've had quite a row of wrong path in the research. Yeah, I do not have any defense right now, which I'm starting to think that I should probably produce a few defensive station around my planets. Yeah, because now I'm at war apparently. Okay, let's do what the advisors say. We'll build a fleet. And while they do so, I will try to figure out who is attacking me. Oh wow, they are rather far. So it's that faction over here which is at war with me. Okay, I now have a fleet, or most of it is built. On the other hand, that cost me a lot of cash flow. But I'm still making money. Now, if we look at what kind of enemy we're having, oh wow, that's a lot of factions. How come I'm at war with so many things? I think it's because the blue faction, which is highly technological, is in a war right here. Okay, they offer me technology for a mining station. I don't mind. Seem to have a lot of scouting ships which are heading into the enemy sectors here. So let's see what kind of fleet we're talking about here. So a bunch of fleet with 1,374 firepower. Which means that's what I need to beat. I think what I'll do is I will build some construction ship and then I will come and fix those alien ships and use them in my fleet. You can see that my laser technology has evolved. Now it's colored green. And my empire is kind of small, and you can start to see or feel that there is starting to be a lot of stuff going on. And when you look at the galaxy, there is a large amount of ships traveling around. All those blue dots around the place, that's all trading ships. It's kind of fortunate that those blue guys are not expanding faster. Or actually, it's fortunate that the other factions are not expanding that much. Because they could really end up... that could end up a big mess. Would ask peace with those guys because anyway they are really far. And I will instead probably focus on making war to people which are really nearby. Like these guys, for example. Well, that planet keep having that kind of creature around it. Now I seem to be allied with those guys over here. And I did establish some trading with these. And these guys don't want to be allied at all. Okay, so I just ordered a bunch of constructor ship to go fix those big ships. And these will be part of my fleet. Yeah, it seems that those blue guys will dominate everybody soon. They're expanding all the way here. I currently do not have any planetary defense. I can build defense station, but there is a technology where you can research ion cannon and that disable enemy ships. Okay, I have a better technology of mining now. That's good news. I will really need to get rid of those. So I will assign a few ships to attack this. Hopefully they will be enough. because this is really disrupting the development of that colony. I can see here that my engineer are taking care of those ships. And the goal will be to bring all those ships either to be retired or as a kind of a way to have a lot of firepower without necessarily having the technology. The slug is finally gone. Now we can develop that planet again. There's another one now. The planet must be a danger or something to attract that kind of stuff. I don't think you want to live there. It's a big repairing operation. I guess now that I'm repairing all this, I think it's a good moment to take a break and end this live stream for today. So I hope you did enjoy this game. If you want to see more of it, tell me. If you do not want to see any more of that, tell me also. Because I know that this is not necessarily the kind of game which appeal to everybody. So that will be it for today, and I'll see you on my next live stream.